So, the reason that I started Carnivore in the first place was because I had a debilitating mental illness. I have been struggling with bipolar disorder for years and tried everything. I was on, at my most, I was on 900 milligrams of lithium, 80 milligrams of Prozac, uh, and then at my most, I was on 80 milligrams of Adderall just to get out of bed every day. Because, yes, bipolar has the manic part of it, but the depressive part is most of the time, that's the most debilitating part. And I just couldn't get out of bed. I was just absolutely miserable. I was hopeless. I felt worthless, and it got to the point where it turned into rapid cycling, um, which meant that instead of it being kind of on a gradual pattern, a mild up and down, it would be from day to day. I wouldn't know what was going to happen. I wouldn't, if I made an appointment or scheduled something on Tuesday, I might, you know, wake up on Tuesday morning and not be able to get out of bed, and I'd have to reschedule that day. So it was debilitating. I got to the point where I had to move in with my mother so that she could help me care for my son on days that I couldn't get out of bed. And so all this medication, and I still wasn't functioning. Um, and then my brother in February of 2019, and today is December 27th of 2019, so that was this year. My brother sent me the audiobook for the first chapter of Amber O'Hearn's book, and I I listened to it. That's all I did. I laid there and I listened to it, and something clicked. Something snapped inside of me where I realized that I was so miserable. I was so beyond miserable and in such a dark place that anything that I could do to get any amount of relief would be worth it. It didn't matter how extreme it was to me. And to me, the extreme part was staying in that misery. So I went from the standard American diet to carnivore overnight, and I was baffled, baffled by the results. Um, it was, difficult with the cravings at first, and I have zero willpower, like none. Um, and but I was able to do this, and I got through the first week, and then once I got to the end of the first month, that's whenever I really started to feel a little bit more in control of my cravings. But when I got that one glimpse of hope, and I actually felt joy for the first time, and I felt like I had a vision for my future, I was completely in awe. I couldn't believe that I was even capable of that emotion. I didn't even know what it felt like to believe in myself like that. And so I kept eating meat, and I kept going, and I kept getting stronger. And I have, with my psychiatrist, I have been able to taper off of all of my medications because he said, "You're functioning so well. I think that you're ready." And it was difficult for me because it was like my security blanket to have that medication. But I realized that as I was eating the foods that I needed, meat, I was getting the nutrients that I needed and the fat that I needed to my brain, and I was reducing all that inflammation out of my body, and I was functioning. I was I was capable of having the correct thought process to get things done, uh, and the joy and the belief in myself to be able to accomplish that. So, anyway, that's my story as far as bipolar disorder. I haven't had a depressive or a manic episode since April of this year, and that's pretty much a big deal. You don't get over bipolar disorder. You don't get to get off of medication for bipolar disorder. The fact that this happened is a miracle. I it, it baffles me still to this day, and I will keep eating meat for the rest of my life because I have never felt better mentally and physically. And I'm still healing, and the best is yet to come. So, just wanted to tell you about my story with bipolar. Thanks.